What's going on, folks? Nolan Kangas for the Cover 4 podcast, bringing you my top 5 MVP candidates after Week 11. And again, shuffling up. I hate doing it. I enjoy giving you guys this content, but man, is it stressful because it changes week to week. There's really not a clear-cut favorite, and realistically, you could put kind of whoever you wanted at 5, 4, and 3. But I'll rip through them for you. 5 is Patrick Mahomes. I get it. Another interception. It was a tip pick. You saw he hit Kelsey right in the hands and ends up being picked off. They're winning games now. He's still playing well. The defense is coming alive. You think about it, end of the year, they're going to probably win the AFC West, and he's still going to have, nearly 5,000 yards and probably over 30 touchdowns, right? So he's right now at that 5 spot. There's a couple other players I'd consider putting there, even Justin Herbert, getting back in there. Kirk Cousins, another fantastic performance. Mahomes holds the 5 spot for now. 4, Matt Stafford. He truly needs a bounce back, right? We had the tough game against the Titans. We had a really, tough game last week. He gets the buys, and now he's got to figure it all out with Odell Beckham Jr. as well now. They get Green Bay. That is a really tough contest, especially at Lambeau. So if he can bounce back, maybe throw for 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, that would, improve his stock on the board here a little bit. But again, a couple bad weeks in a row, he had to drop from that one spot where he was a couple weeks back. 3, I hate to do it, Jonathan Taylor. I know a lot of people are calling him for being number 2 or number 1. Guy's a monster. He's having a killer year. He's just been fantastic. But I always do this. It's so hard to give, the running back the MVP. Derrick Henry had, 2,000-plus yards. He didn't even get an MVP vote, right? So you basically got to be carrying that team, which he has done, right? He's been fantastic. Carson Wentz hasn't done anything special. That defense is really good, though. So I had to look at the numbers of Adrian Peterson, the last running back to win an MVP. It's not even close. AP through 11 games, right? Through 11 games, they're kind of similar, right? So through 11 games, AP had more carries, more yards, less touchdowns, the same yards per carry. He had averaged 10 more yards per game, and they basically had the same amount of yards from scrimmage, okay? On pace, in a 17-game season, Jonathan Taylor's on pace for less than 300 carries, 1,700 yards, fantastic, 20 rushing touchdowns, phenomenal, and 2,200 yards from scrimmage. That would be a fantastic running back season. Here's AP, right? 350 carries, 2,100 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry, 130 yards per game, 2,300 yards from scrimmage. He barely caught the ball that season, and Jonathan Taylor's been doing a great time catching the ball this year. AP barely caught the ball and would still have more yards from scrimmage, just going by the pace that Taylor has right now. So Taylor is at number 3. I know I rambled on there. There was a lot of numbers, but I just had to back it up why he's number 3. Number 2, the guy lost last week, but guess what? He had a hell of a game. Aaron Rodgers, the guy's back. He's making dumb comments, on TV. He's showing his stupid foot, during, press conferences. I don't know. The guy's a weirdo right now, but guess what? He can play football really damn well, and he's been absolutely lights out. Obviously they lose against the Vikings. That was the Vikings, offense on fire, and the Packers defense, who has been good of late, not playing good football. Rodgers is still dominating. He's number 2, and number 1 is Tom Brady. Another, he had an easy one against the Giants, but still balling, still the highest PFF grade, still leads in, touchdowns. He's, going to finish at 5,000 yards, right? He's been fantastic, right? So he's in that number 1 spot, but I could really see this change after a couple of weeks. Maybe Stafford catches on fire, Rodgers does his thing, maybe Jonathan Taylor does catch up to those AP numbers, right? Still a lot to change, but that is the top 5 MVP candidates after Week 11. Make sure to check out Lingo Sports and, of course, the Cover 4 podcast for a podcast we did earlier this week. We did sort of our mid-season awards. Of course, went through the rookies, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, the coaches. We said who's our most disappointing team, who's the team who's really surprised us, and of course, we did our preview for Week 12. So make sure to check all of that content out and more on Lingo Sports on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your content. Lingo Sports, Cover 4 Podcast. We'll see you guys soon.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Lingo Sports and Lingo News for a whole lot more just like this.